All you have to do is take a look at the federal debt over the last few years to know that President Obama isn't the greatest math whiz we've ever had in the Oval Office. But even by his own low standards, the president's been fudging the numbers recently. Consider this statement from his press conference last week on the nation's spending crisis.
You have 80% of the American people who support a balanced approach. 80% of the American people support an approach that includes revenues and includes cuts. So the notion that somehow the American people aren't sold is not the problem. The problem is members of Congress are dug in ideologically into various positions because they boxed themselves in with previous statements.
Really, Mr. President? 80% of the American people are on board with your plan for new tax hikes? The same American people who threw your liberal colleagues throughout the nation out of office last year for just that kind of big government excess? If the president's numbers sound too far-fetched to be true, it's because they are. Digging a little deeper, we find that the polling data indicate that only 4% of Americans want to rely only on tax increases to make up our shortfalls, and only an additional 7% want to rely primarily on tax increases. That's far from the picture Obama paints, one in which the public is fine with more tax money for more spending. But the public's rejection of Obama's economic policies goes even deeper. More Americans oppose raising the debt ceiling than favor it by a margin of almost 2-to-1. 55% want no tax increases at all in any debt relief package. And a majority of Americans believe that it would be a bigger crisis to increase the debt ceiling without a serious plan for reining in spending than it would be to not increase the debt ceiling at all. Once again, President Obama has demonstrated that his grasp of public opinion is just as weak as his grasp of basic economics. In both cases, the president should check his math because these numbers just don't add up. That's this week's Freedom Minute.